Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome, folks, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Today we're with Marcel, Zain, and Jesus the Muslim. We're going to be reacting to a video that I believe you guys have, seen and known so much because it's reached a whopping 1,982,236 views as of today, as of now, which is that's a lot of people. There's a lot of individuals. And the like to dislike ratio is phenomenal. 112k compared to the 18k that have disliked it. So, anyway, before we get into the video, before I share screen, to the three brothers here, do you have any idea about the gist or like the synopsis of the video?
No, I haven't even watched it yet.
Oh,
So I'm completely new.
what about you,
Just
Marcel?
watched some clips. I just watched some clips actually.
And
I
JTM?
watched all of it.
Yeah, same as Marcel. Seen some clips and stuff, but yeah.
Okay. For me, I also kind of watched the clips and stuff, and it was let's just say eye-opening, even though I don't think that's really exactly the right term, but it's fine. Alright, so as you can see, here's the video. You cannot see my mouse pointer for whatever reason, but it's fine. We're gonna start playing the video. It's 6 minutes 51 seconds. But yeah, let's just see what we're up against within these 6 minutes. 51
Hi,
seconds.
all.
Hi.
I have been informed by many sources and also observed online, not least because of my discussions with a variety of Muslim thinkers, supporters, and critics, that I have developed an audience in the Muslim world.
You have previously, thanks to the memes and the compilations made about you, and also in tandem with Ben Shapiro, because you would make great arguments against feminists and stuff. So you had a bit of following since then. There's an increase, we could say, in following because of your discussion with Hamza Yusuf and Mohammed Hijab, two well-known brothers. Anything you have to say so far? Three of you guys.
I mean, yeah. He also gained followers from the Muslims because he also criticizes alcohol pretty much, and he has, and we always thought that he has some Islamic understanding of the world, and yeah, that's what made Muslims actually watch him more and more. And once he realizes that he had Muslim audiences, this is what he's doing right now. He's using that against, again, his power, as you can say.
Or he kind of like shot himself in the foot, because at this point, really, he was a bit ignorant on Islam, and he when his discussion with Muhammad Hijab, when brother Hijab did an amazing job at bringing these points to light in front of Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson admitted that he wasn't all that well too informed about Islam, so he had like these prejudices, presumptions, and these information got from within his, I can't say fantasy because that would be insulting him, but I could say from that point until he got corrected by Mohammed Hijab in that discussion with him, and also by Hamza Yusuf. I haven't watched his discussion with Hamza Yusuf, but I will later afterwards. But sadly, apparently, has come to this video, and this video has some stuff that are pretty striking and pretty sad. So let's just move on. Wow, it's just the Muslims.
I would first like to say that I could not be more pleased or honored that such is the case. It has been so heartening to see that my biblical lectures, for example, attracted a large Muslim audience, and that the comments from the Muslim watchers and listeners to my YouTube channel and podcast have been so extraordinarily positive. And all this is lovely to see in the aftermath of the extraordinary Abraham Accords, which have laid out the possibility for peace between all the people of the book in an unprecedented manner.
Yeah, I didn't see this clip. Oh, okay. Abraham Accords. Oh, where do I begin with that?
The thing is with Abraham Accords, it's something of a Zionist movement. To be honest with you, it's mainly to be allies with the Zionists, yeah, and that's the Abraham Accords according to them. But I don't know what you guys think about this.
Yeah, it's basically it's basically not being like, if you agree with them, then you have to agree with Israel being a state and stuff like this, right?
I mean, if
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
the
wrong.
normal. Yeah, it's kind of the normalization of Israel and stuff like this.
Yeah,
And
if I'm not wrong,
Hmm?
you see, if I'm not wrong, I think the agreement, I mean, how the Abraham Accord started was between Bahrain and Israel. When Bahrain, I mean, Bahrain was the first Arab country that started this Abraham Accords.
Yes, I think the Emirati also like foreign minister was like included.
Oh yes, there you go. The agreement between Bahrain and Israel was officially titled the Abraham Accords, Declaration of Peace, Cooperation and Constructive Diplomatic and Friendly Relations, and was announced by the United States on September 11, 2020. Sorry. Wow, of course, by the United States. I mean, in the United States, they put their nose everywhere.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. And before you're called racist for that, but the thing is, from my understanding of the Abraham Accords, I didn't expect to be this, Zionistic or Zionism rooted, but it was apparently yeah. So what was the right word? It was a perennialism, which is basically the idea that all religions are true within the eyes of God. And of course, that's of course not the case because all religions are contradictory towards one another, even Judaism and Islam. As we've seen in this previous series, Judaism and Islam does have like this, weird gray area. But the thing is, they believe that, maybe, if we were to bring it all within one table, we can foster peace and we could, do this all stuff. But the problem is they forget the theology and the dogma of each of the religions go against one another, and it can cause, and that's why we have like this divide to begin with. So to bring it under the umbrella of, and using, Sayyidina Ibrahim Islam's name, it's pretty telling that, I don't know, their motive. I mean, look, maybe initially they had good motives in mind. From that point, from that standpoint of like, where they initially wanted to bring all the three major Abrahamic religions together, right? Maybe they had like good ideas, intentions. Now all I see sadly is that, according to you brothers and according to, I guess, the new information that stemmed out, I guess it's just another Zionistic ploy, which is, a sad thing because even, UAE has had, relations with Israel and they try to normalize these relations and whatnot. And it's causing this stir and a bit of an uproar in the Gulf region because, the citizens are being scared that, they'll be infiltrated by Jews and stuff and they'll take their homes and stuff, just kind of like what's going on over in Palestine. But, that's like far future, fear, which hopefully, inshallah, does not happen in the Gulf, because if it happens, then, we'll be really, really oppressed. just to keep it a bit more, tame, even though I'm pretty sure it's going to be much more nightmarish than that. But to not, sidetrack, for Jordan Peterson to go and, follow this Abrahamic Accords, I'm pretty sure he was kind of, let's be real here, I'm pretty sure he got sponsored by them the same way that Steve Harvey was kind of sponsored by them as well. Because I don't know if you guys saw Nas Daly's video about Steve Harvey's, membership or partnership or whatever ship with the Abrahamic Accords or the Abraham Accords. It was a weird one. I remember he said something along the lines that it's just like, that I'm just paraphrasing, the reality or like, religions are like a bunch of channels on a TV screen. That with a remote, you can just go to any channel. And so he's just trying to say that he uses that analogy to say that, all pathways lead to heaven, apparently, according to his twisted analogy with so many factors left out. But let's see what Jordan Peterson has to say that maybe may contradict or may even affirm Steve Harvey's point of view.
And I have something to say as an extension of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Please forgive my presumption, if you would.
We'll see.
It is time for those of you in the Muslim world to stop fighting among yourselves, you Shiites and Sunnis.
The thing is, the reason why the reason I could see why possibly the reason why you guys are laughing is because it's not that easy. It's not as easy as, hey, let's just shake hands and hug it out and stuff. It's not that simple. It's way more broader than it needs to be. It's basically a child being on a concert or on a big stage, saying this like amazing speech, and then he's getting a bunch of applause out of it. It's not that easy of an idea for it to happen. Well, we want it to happen. We do want peace. That's absolutely for sure, but it's not something that is accomplishable in reality in light of the situations that are going on in the Gulf, in the Middle East, even elsewhere outside of the Middle East, in Europe and in America. We have these also divides out in those areas as well. We can see it even in Speaker's Corner, for crying out loud. But yeah, what's your brother's opinions on what he just said so far?
Yeah.
I mean, he says it as it is so simple. Stop the conflict. Stop fighting between each other. He doesn't know that the thing is between the Shias and the Sunnis is a matter of they would die for their faith, bro. The Shias and the Sunnis, they would die for what they believe in. It's not just because okay, some random guy in America will say stop the fight and then halas we will stop fighting. It's not simple like that. This has been happening centuries, and the fight is still not over. I mean, yes, it's not bloody anymore, but it won't stop just because you say, okay, stop, guys. It won't. But thank you for your that you worry about us. But yeah, no need for that.
Understand, تعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. Like, understand that, that's a beautiful message, but it's not an easy thing to apply, especially in a time like this. It's not that simple. Okay, just to correct myself on that, especially in this time, even previously, if we're going to look back in history, in the Islamic history, there have been, they would go out on wars with each other. Like, nowadays, I think it's much more tamer than before. Before, they would go on bloody wars, like actual bloody wars, because of a few number of disagreements and before a few number of theological misconceptions. So, it's not that simple. It's not that easy rooted. Nowadays, I believe, alhamdulillah, it's become less violent, you could say. And discussion has become much more easier, and coming to conclusions has been much more accessible and much more tamer and moderated. I
mean, if anything, Shia and Sunni fighting is nothing more than a political issue.
Yeah,
it's all because of what happened 1400 years ago. Who should have been the first caliph? Who should have been the ruler, and all of that. It's just political. It's not. I mean, yeah, we have some things that we don't agree on, except that, but it's mainly political. It's mainly because of who should have become the ruler.
Also,
Muhammad sallallahu
a real quick disclaimer from my part, because of my own country's reasons, I disassociate myself from Sunni Shiite discussions. I do not know a lot about the conflicts that are happening to and fro. So kindly, dissociate me as I am right now. Dissociate me from these kinds of discussions. This is just brought up by Jordan Peterson. Normally, I wouldn't involve myself in these discussions, in these situations, but it's just to, clear things up, just in case, anything were to be used against me and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, let's just move on.
And also time to stop regarding the Christians, and even more specifically, the Jews, as your enemies.
Okay, yeah, we so like yeah, like the Jews and Christians, we have no much qualms against them, except for possibly our theological and dogma differences, but other than that, we don't really hate them. And I like how he specifies it's like especially the Jews. It's like, when did we ever do much of anything towards the Jews? Like, there are, like, because I'm an Arab, they're cousins. There are cousins. We wouldn't want harm to befall them, unlike them who would want harm to befall us. With what's going on, especially in Palestine. But to each their own, right? Well, what's your opinion on this?
Why doesn't he? Yeah,
Go ahead.
I guess I'm gonna say, why doesn't he say the same thing about the Jews? Why doesn't he? Why, I don't understand. Like, why doesn't he say to the Jews to stop hating the Christians? Because the Jews, they have a belief, and obviously they reject Jesus and many other stuff. So he can say the same thing about the Jews, or he can say he can also talk about the Zionists, who attack the Muslims and the Arabs in general. Why? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna talk about that too, but it doesn't feel like it. So
As a academic and as his professional a professor, he seems to forget that in history the Jews were running away from Christian countries and coming to Muslim countries in order to hide, and they had
Yeah.
safety. That's safety in our empire. They literally, I don't know if you remember, but many Jews they run away from the queen because she was trying to enforce their religion upon them, and they went to the Ottomans, which they lived peacefully there. Same thing happened
exactly.
same thing happened in Andalusia. Same thing even happened in Palestine before Israel was even there. The Christians were always on the Jews' neck, but no, he as a of yeah. Why do we have issues with the Jews right now? Actually, we
Israel.
don't. We don't have issues with the Jews. We have issues with Zionists, and Zionists are not just Jews. They are like white men, like Jordan Peterson. If you're a Zionist, we have also an issue with you. It doesn't matter if a Jew or Christian or something like that. We have problem with Zionists. A Jew can live next to me, can eat with me. Don't matter. But a Zionist can't.
Mm.
Yeah, the thing
So
also, yeah, like this is also.
when you
Yeah, you
yeah
speak, you speak, you go.
okay when we look at the history, you would see that um, the violence is more between the Christian and the Jews. Like if you have to compare, like for example, how the Jews used to live under the Muslims and stuff like this. It was. I'm not gonna say it was always 100% peaceful, but it was way more peaceful than Christians. Jews with Christians, like even just during the Second World War. Like I mean, everyone knows that Hitler was a Christian. So I mean,
Even though they didn't admit it.
yeah.
But
So yeah,
yeah, the thing is, Zionism isn't just. Let me clear some misconceptions. You don't have to, like, and even from the Jews themselves who are non-Zionistic, they are non-Zionist. They say that you don't have to be a Jew to be Zionist. Not all Jews are Zionists. Zionists you can be a Muslim and be a Zionist. Sadly, you can be a Christian and be a Zionist. You could also be a Jew and a Zionist. You could be anything in a Zionist. The idea of Zionism is the fact that you want to give Jews the right to land, when in their very own scripture they're not allowed to unless their own, Messiah is, around at that time. And then from that point, they will then establish a Zion. So for them not to have their Messiah right now, for them to claim that they have Zion already, it's contradictory to their own laws and their own scriptures. And to talk about whether or not the scriptures are preserved or not preserved, that's a whole other story. But the fact is, they're going by their own scriptures as truth. So in their own scriptures, currently, as whatever form it is today, they're going against it. So it just shows like some form of like desperation in them, and they want like some form of country, some form of place. But at the same time, it's like, isn't the peace that is being offered by Muslims to these Jews more than enough? Do they really have to go far against their own scriptures to forcefully establish a Zion for themselves? Like, can they just take this and just as it is? Like, there's a bit of greed in that. There's a bit of selfish, narcissistic greed in that, which is destructive, and we can see that clearly with what's going on with Palestine. We see that clearly, vividly in history, from then until now with Palestine. And yet, sadly, the world won't really much bat an eye. They're always on the side of like the news, and the news, of course, hampers in these Zionist ideas. So it's really sad. It's really sad. Let's just move on, honestly.
yeah.
Why? Not least because you have the enemy located in the wrong place. First,
I like these camera angles. Like this, it's just so unnecessary. But okay.
the best place to find Satan, let's say, is within. If you think the true enemy is in someone else's heart, then you haven't thought nearly long enough about the darkness within, and you have therefore fallen prey to the most subtle temptation of the ancient demonic spirit.
That's a very
Okay,
long.
you guys respond to this. So what you say, Marcel?
Yeah. No, let's continue. Let's continue.
Okay, continue the video. Okay, continue the video.
So your best bet on the spiritual warfare front is to make of yourself and your Muslim practice something so admirable that the light shining from your well-constituted psyches and productive, generous, and wise actions is so intense that people convert to your faith from sheer admiration.
Not just
No.
not just our generosity and our being good and kind to people. It's also that's just emotional. It's because when they read the Quran and then look into the arguments that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes within the Quran, they find some intellectualness within it, and they get gravitated by intellectual arguments and actual. And I can't say scientific because science is man-made, but I'm just saying, from these standpoints, they get gravitated mostly because at the end of the day, let's be honest. Any other non-Muslim out there can still be as kind as Muslims, can still be as generous as Muslims, but will their religion make as much sense as Islam? If it doesn't, if it's not gonna make sense to them, then they're just gonna abandon it. Be like, I was just part of this religion because of the people. Really, they're not here for just No, I'm not denying that there are people who've joined Islam because of similar reasons. I'm just saying that there will be a much more higher probability that the new coming Muslims joined. They joined not for emotional reasons. They joined for intellectual reasons, for actual testimonial. Purposes, because they've studied the Quran, they've read it, and they've sat down with scholars and they had these discussions and stuff. Some of which might delve into philosophy, but we won't get that into the argument later afterwards. It's another story, but it's.
I would,
yeah. You see, I spoke too much. You can speak first.
I have a different point of view. Of course, our acts does not guide others at all to Islam. It's Allah who guides. Yeah, even if it's our acts, it's the same way of that's how Allah also guides some people. For example, we see many African tribes who don't know how to read Arabic, can't understand Arabic, can't even read, yet convert to Islam. It's just the fitrah, and everyone knows with a pure heart and knows that Islam is the truth. And as you said, Jordan Peterson said that many I think he means that as many people converting to your faith. Well, there is an ayah in the Quran where Allah says that He is the one who sent the religion and the guidance of truth in order to make it prevail over all religions, even though the idolaters dislike it. So it doesn't matter how people convert to Islam. At the end of the day, Islam will win. Doesn't matter how, it will win.
Mm-hmm. Because that's the decree of Allah, and nothing can destroy the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If He willed it, it wills.
There's a goal. Second, far more unites you with the other people of the book, as your own prophet himself, peace be unto him, forthrightly said, than what divides you. You all believe, for example, in a book. You all believe, for example, in God, and believe that you have an ultimate duty to that God. You are all followers of a prophetic tradition. And that is a tradition that unites the wisdom of the past with the vision and voice of those willing to see and speak truly and lovingly in the present. And you are all threatened, in a very real sense, by the system of vengeful Luciferian ideas that currently confronts all that is transcendent, traditional, and valuable on the sexual front, on the familial front, on the conceptual front, on the psychological and sociological front, and, in the final analysis, on the theological front.
Okay, all right. The thing is,
Did he just speak Chinese to me?
No, not to me though. The thing is, he's not wrong, yet
But
the implications, like the message, the hidden message, and what he's trying to say, it's it's so hard because it's like playing chess. And he's trying to do a move, and it's just so hard. Like you don't know what his next move is. It's literally one of those moments. Because I know what he's trying to get at. He wants us to just put away these differences aside. But you can't do that though. Like these differences will exist. Like these will contradict. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They will contradict. I mean, it's in the very three names of the very three religions themselves. Had we been in an agreement, all of them would have been called Islam, or they were all would have been called Judaism, or all would have been called Christianity. But no, these differences are the reason why we have, this split. But yeah, what's your opinion, brothers?
I feel like he's trying to like normalize people accepting other religions and stuff, and how like he wants Muslims to accept that all people are Christians, people are Jews, and he wants them to be okay with that essentially. And I feel like he's trying to put that out there so that we all come under one banner, kind of. But that, as Muslim Dragon said, that wouldn't actually really work because we all have our disagreements and our arguments, and at the end of the day, it isn't like a real idea if we're speaking about it. I feel like if what do you call it? If we were all of the same book, of the same prophetic traditions, we would all be under one banner, which would be either Islam, Judaism, or Christianity. But we aren't, and that idea that what's it called? So he wants us all to go under one banner, but the banner wouldn't work because it's essentially a self-contradicting idea as it is as the best as I can put it.
I mean, that's the thing that I was just a little bit frustrated about is that, he's playing this move that because of his standing and knowledge, you can't really exactly play it. It's really a child playing with fire. It's not gonna end well. But it's happened anyway, and the house is probably burned down. I mean, so far we're 3 minutes 28 seconds. So I guess the house did burn down because this child played with fire. Let's just move on.
So, how about we all quit squabbling over trinkets and details and face the real problem?
Which is
Yeah.
And I should also point out
Oh, he's not gonna say it right now, but okay.
that it is not
man,
the
come on.
individual carriers of the woke, politically correct, degenerate neo-Marxist ideas that should be regarded as the enemy either. First, we must take the idea that the satanic impulse within is the prime enemy with all due seriousness.
Okay, sure, yeah. Shaitan has been, in everyone's neck and has caused so much, mayhem, dismay, and falsehood to spread, and ultimately lead to chaos and stuff like that. We know that. I believe all religions know that. I believe all religions have, like, at least a figure like Shaitan in it, which, has, like, these understandings. Like, we don't have disagreement with that. But what you posit is not the right means, though, to put an end to, at least the three enemies that you the few enemies that you posit to us that we should deal with.
Second, we must understand that even those quite possessed by the spirit of Cain that attracts and drives confused and lost people to the Luciferian ideologies of the materialist utopians are, in the ideal, fully redeemable.
Wait, spirit of Cain? Isn't that like biblical?
It's biblical. It's some sort of an evil spirit.
Isn't Cain the son sort of Adam that killed his brother out of jealousy?
Yeah.
The spirit of Cain.
So
Wow.
basically, spirit of Cain is like a spirit of jealousy, something bad, because Cain did something bad out of jealousy and hatred. So he does. That's what he means.
But we're not exactly jealous of like the non-Muslims exactly. We're not jealous of our Christians and Jews. In fact, we are scared for them, for what they believe in, for what they're doing. Like that. If that's like, it's not in the same light as protective jealousy, but it's more like fearing for, our brothers and cousins.
No, I don't think he means jealousy, but I think he means by killing our brothers in worshiping the same God. For example, killing the Jews and Christians. That's what he means. You know, it's like if we kill, for example, a Jew or Christian, it's like Cain killing his brother,
Yeah,
even though
again,
we worship the same God. You know,
but
that's
yeah,
what he
but
means.
like I said, we really don't have qualms with our brothers. With our brothers, it's in fact like the bombs. Like we're not dropping the bombs on ourselves. Let's just end it there. We're not the ones dropping the bombs on ourselves. So yeah,
and only partially consumed. Even the committed student ideologues who have, for example, attacked me and others like me rather viciously are generally, say, 90% or perhaps 80, reasonable and potentially civilized people who could still see the light.
as if they haven't seen before and thus went and actually attacked you. I mean, I think it's talking about those who are on the side of the enemy. But okay,
Muslims,
yes.
reach across the sectarian divide. Shiites,
Wait.
What?
Wait.
Did he
Hold
say
on.
reach?
Wait, hold on.
reach across the sectarian divide.
And define that kindly, por favor.
What does he? Continue.
Shiites, find a Sunni pen pal. Communicate with someone on the other side. Sunnis, do the same.
We have, and
I mean, we
are.
do.
We do that every day, bro.
I mean, it literally like almost every day. I mean,
If
come on, bro.
anything,
Sunnis and Shias-
I know that Sheikh Uthman al-Khamis, who's the Kuwait's esteemed scholar, he also has been in commune with Shiites and stuff. So if anything, there is communication between us. Like, look, we're not on a daily 24/7, bloodthirst, vengeful wars against each other. We still we're neighboring each other. Like seriously, like I could take it to a neighborhood in my country, and then they're just sitting peacefully, eating whatever they're eating and drinking whatever they're drinking, and breathing the same air and living out the rest of their own days. Like we're not killing
for
each other out
example-
in the streets. Freaking hell, man!
Yeah, for example, you don't see, for example, Iraq and Lebanon. These two countries have the most Sunnis and Shias in the same country. Yeah, you don't see them kill each other there.
Hmm.
You don't see that. I mean, I don't know what he's
see.
like. He talks as if it's all just wars and blood between us Sunnis and Shias. I mean, come on, man. It's-
This is the problem. It's like for once, and I request this. If Jordan Peterson actually does, find a way and watch our video, I request of you, kind sir, if you could kindly leave America and come to one of these Gulf or Middle Eastern countries and then experience the country for at least 1 month. Then you'll come to realize, I should retract everything I said. Because in that 1 month experience, just 1 month, okay, if you count 1 month, at least a week, right? In that experience alone, you'll realize that the stuff that you said, does not follow reality in whatever form, shape that you exaggerated in this 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Let's just move on.
And then maybe reach out tentatively to a Christian or even, heaven forbid, a Jew.
We're doing this as Speaker's Court. Oh my God. What's Speaker's Corner for, huh? What's these panels that we the other brothers are opening across the country there, and even in what's Sheikh Uthman ibn Farouk's do work for? He's open. The problem is what's the problem is? The problem is Muslims, us Muslims, we're the ones who are opening this doorway for discourse, right? And yet we have Mr. Jordan Peterson, who is Mr. Jordan Peterson, and he is sitting in his room with a bunch of logs in the back. I don't even know what this whole background is supposed to be. I don't get the whole idea why he's sitting in a place like this with all these camera angles, right? He's saying that stuff like this doesn't happen. Google and YouTube exist for a reason, right? But let's just move on.
Because perhaps it is time for those who purport to be followers of God to act like it.
Oh, wow.
I wish you could see my face right now.
to act like it.
I wish.
Doesn't
I wish you could see my face right
know.
now.
He doesn't know that Islam is the only, is literally, no, Islamic countries and Islam is the only religion that acts like the followers of God. Hence, it does not follow, for example, the LGBTQ, since every single country normalized it except the Muslims. Who are the who are the true people of God here? Even the Jews, the chosen people of God, normalized LGBTQ. I mean, Tel Aviv is full of gay people.
I mean,
The Holy Land, apparently.
forget the normalization of LGBTQ plus. And we've seen worser stuff being okay in their book, and let alone the Christians as well. Because the Christians, I mean, we can go ad nauseum on the stuff that they, and their scholars and their classical scholars like propose and prioritize and promote. Free peace. Wow, that's crazy. But it's like, I don't know, man.
And to be convincing in those actions, even to those whose premature cynicism and skepticism have driven them into the towers of Babel, constructed by the avatars of the resentful intellect.
Now, okay, the story of Babel is not the same in the Bible and in the Quran, as per God's
and the
story that
yeah.
you said, yeah, but it's
and the story and the story of Avatar is also not the same. I mean, you don't have an airbender and a waterbender.
or blue people, on a different planet because of some mineral called
Yeah.
unobtainium. It's one.
Is there someone in the Muslim world willing to build an electronic system to bring people from the Sunni and Shiite community together?
Yeah.
But is it being
I mean, you should have,
I know he's
you
trying to
should
say
have asked this question years of yeah. I mean, bro, this question. Come on, bro. We've been trying to make peace with the Shias since the time of Muawiyah radiallahu anhu.
But the thing
come
is,
on.
the thing is, just forget the Shias, the Christians and the Jews and stuff, and even non-Abrahamic religion followers, right? Even them, like we've had libraries preserving their own books and works and translating them and critiquing them and affirming and debunking them. We've had discussions, open discussions. We've had debates going on. We've had poems and letters being shared at those times, and then here he is. Asking, hey, is there someone's gonna make an electronic thing system to bring these people together when we don't even need it, when the past is more than enough? I don't know, man. It's like
A place where people of
Seems
goodwill
like,
could reach electronically across the divide.
do we need it to be an electronic device? Can't letters be enough? Or just sitting down with each other? Fine. Okay, fine. You know what? I'll do it. I'll see what it takes to make a website or an app, and I might do it. We'll see. If God willed it for me, that gave me the strength, gave me the knowledge for me to do it, then I'll do it. Just to shut it up. But anyways,
person to person, and to formulate the kinds of personal, trusting friendships upon which a lasting peace truly might be founded.
true peace comes in. It's like, okay, let's just move on.
A place where Jews and Christians, willing and eager to open communication with their Muslim brothers, might do just that.
Has happened in the past multiple times, like we've said before, but moving on.
There's
He
a
does not
task for
know-
someone looking for
Hold
a
on.
purpose.
Wait a second.
Okay, go back.
He does not know that in Egypt there are more Muslims than there are Muslims in Europe. There are more Christians than there are Muslims in Europe. In Egypt, he does not know that Lebanon is literally has a government that are Muslims and Christians, and most of the people in Lebanon are also Christians. I mean, not the most, but 40% of people in Lebanon are Christians. So it's you guys, it's you Western countries that have problems with us Muslims. We don't.
It's like a trend. It's like the West ruined stuff, and then people from the West, they forget that the West ruined it, and they come with this presumption that, oh, you guys are backwards. You guys, you're not doing this and that. You should be doing this and that to return to peace and stuff. Even though the very country that they came from have ruined it all for us, and here they are with their ignorance and audacity telling us to, get our act together.
Something else.
21st century, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but something else he doesn't also probably know is that in Yemen alone, there are 9% of the population of Yemen are Jews. 9%.
Well,
Yeah, we
there's
have many Jews. Yeah, we have many. In Morocco as well. I remember when I was in Morocco, my neighbor was a Jew. We have many Jews in Morocco as well. Yeah, they all are peacefully, but you don't see that. You aren't willing to how do you say it? Get out from your comfort zone. If that's the correct way to say it.
not just that. It's that he wants everything to be on the internet and in front of his face, instead of him going out and looking for it. Like he wants everything to be like, oh wow, breaking news. There's this group of Jews in this Gulf country. Wow, yeah, subhanallah. It's like, come on, man. You can't get it like a freaking plane ticket to the Emirates. Or okay. Not okay. You don't need to be in the Gulf countries to like to the Levant, to like one of the Levant countries, Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, and like just a plane ticket there at least.
Indonesia.
Or
No,
or,
Indonesia.
or
There are many Jews there, and Indonesia is the most country that has the most Muslims. So you're
Yeah.
missing out, Jordan.
I mean, I don't know. He might go to Jordan because his name is Jordan, but I don't know.
Just that? There's a task for someone looking for a purpose.
Looking for a purpose. Our purpose is to worship God alone and to follow His prophets. Peace and blessings be upon all of them. And by worship, I mean also to not only just worship, but also obey them and their commands and stuff. So yeah, that's our purpose. We already have a purpose, genius. But okay, moving on.
And it's an open invitation to do just that. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, get in touch with me. You'll figure out how to do it. And I'll publicize it. Thank you, all my Muslim listeners, watchers, and readers, for your kind attention and patience. I wish you well as you strive to become the light in the world that your faith truly demands.
Why do you wish? Why don't you hope? Because normally you wish for the impossible, right? Why do you wish? Why don't you hope? But okay.
Let's see if we can unite as people of the book and negotiate our way toward the paradise that we might truly and jointly attain.
Yeah, I don't know if we can jointly attain. Wow.
You see,
Okay, that's.
you see, there's something in the Quran which is profound. Is that the people of the book will never be happy with you except you join them.
Yeah.
That's literally in the Quran. They will never be happy with you except that you're gonna join them. Yeah. So, and even if we will, then that's how the liberalism will come on to Muslims and all of that. So that's why the Muslim community is the only community that is literally so strict that you cannot even liberalize it or bring many like these secular and liberal ideas to it. You can't. You can't form Islam. Islam can never be formed. Just like Christianity, for example. Christianity is long dead. For real.
It is dying, especially in Europe.
56%, I think it is. That's the UK. It was like around 80% 30 years ago.
Yeah.
With the connecting with the Jews and the Christians, I mean, oh my God, man, he doesn't know how many. We have more Christians in the Middle East and in North Africa and Indonesia than in Europe and America has Muslims. You know what I mean? Like we have more Christians and Jews. You don't have many Muslims, and yet you are still literally criticizing the Muslims there. Yeah, you have political movements against the Muslims. You attack the Muslims racially. I mean, you even burned the Quran. Why do you talk to us? Why? I don't know. Bruv, this is guys.
It's fine. It's humans. We're all humans.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes,
Yeah, I mean,
especially Jordan.
You don't see. Yeah, you don't see in the Middle East we are burning Bibles, do you? Don't see that. Or for example, on the news calling the shooters that happened in America, for example, Christian terrorists. You don't see that.
But against us Muslims, you see all forms of things made against us, made about us.
Yeah. I mean, if there's something, you guys should try to connect to us in a better way. Not us. Not us, bro. You can eat in my table. No worries about that, as long as you respect my beliefs. But if you're gonna like, for example, burn the Quran, etc., and talk bad about our Prophet, draw him, which is for example what Europe did. Europe does it for almost all the time, and he wants us to connect to them, to be better to them, to be the light to them. Nah, it's your job.
Look, here. I'm gonna like kind of end this here by saying this. Like, we've opened, you know, we're nearly everywhere, right? We're on social media, throughout Facebook, Twitter, even Instagram, Snapchat, all these like social media platforms, including Reddit and Discord, and even on YouTube in the comment section, right? We're on there. And even in real life. Even in real life, any like neighborhood that you're in, if you're in a non-Muslim country, you'll at least find at least one Muslim there, like one Muslim as a neighbor, like somewhere. We've opened the doors to you. All we ask is you just don't throw a nuke inside the door. That's all we ask. Really, that's all we ask. Come in, have a cup of tea, talk, discuss things, learn a few things along the way, and we'll learn from you. But just don't throw a nuke, and we'll all be, living this peace that you are calling us to deliver to you. And there you have it.
It's
honestly,
kind of ironic though, since he's all for Christianity and all that such, but then those are the countries that are actually killing around 1 million Iraqis, hundreds and thousands of Afghans. It just keeps on increasing. Honestly, it's stuff a lot.
By the way, seems funny. It's good that you mentioned that. I mean, he wants us Shias and Sunnis to communicate to each other, right? To talk to each other. Well, how can we do that since you guys, the West, destroyed the country where Sunnis and Shias live together?
Iraq.
and
how?
not only that, you're killing Muslims, and yet you want the remaining Muslims to try and go and speak to all people. It's
The West
funny.
has to be the one to
It's
to
funny,
come
man.
up to the Muslims.
It's
You know?
funny, man. It's funny. I don't think Jordan Peterson ever reads about the Islamic history. I mean, yeah, if you watch the Hamza Yusuf podcast with him and the Muhammad Hijab, he's really ignorant when it comes to Islam and history. Like really, really ignorant. You can see that. I think if he does, I don't think even he read the Quran. But I mean, maybe because he says, the Quran says that you should be the light of the world, which I don't think there is in the Quran such verse.
I mean,
Yeah, man. Anyway, the light is the Quran itself. If you want to come to the light, read the Quran. As an intellectual guy like you will inshallah accept Islam.
Mm, to be fair, I want to say one thing. I've seen that he also made a video called "Message to the Christian Churches." So yeah, but he didn't make a video like message to the Jews. I don't know why.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, especially that. Where's that, Jordan Peterson? You talk about making, peace with Jews, yet you're not making a video for Jews. That's very doing. Anyway, just to not
he's,
yeah, what should I say?
he's a friend of Ben Shapiro. So
well, okay, they're kind of on good terms, I guess you could say so. Yeah. But anyway, as to not elongate this video because it's pretty long anyway, as is. I'm just gonna end it here. So, any last words, brothers? Do you got?
You should probably go research more, I guess, since he is kind of ignorant in history and other really important topics.
What I should say is that if any of you read just any history book about how the Muslims back then, when they were in power, when they were literally ruling the world, when they literally made America pay the jizya, that time. If you remember that, the Jews even called that time the golden age of Judaism. I can give you many rabbis who say that in the Islamic time, the Islamic Empire, that was the golden age for them. Many books were produced in that time. Yeah, so study history, and you will know then what Jordan Peterson is talking about is false, just false, pure false. And that's it for me.
Okay. All right then. And that's it. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Take care and stay safe. Wa ma'as salama wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.